always say to my clients and friends, rock your uglies. The thing that you think is a disadvantage is actually the most beautiful thing about you. So I almost think sounds like it'll be a great exercise for everything that a mother is feeling a little bit apprehensive about entering the workforce. Perhaps that is the very advantage she could spin around and sell. Have you got any examples in your career coaching where that has happened in general, when somebody came to you, maybe it was even a man or another client who thought their experience was completely going to set them back, and then you worked with them and it ended up being an asset?
Yeah, actually, a lot of the time people come to me and say they're really concerned because of career gaps that they've had. They say, oh, my CV looks patchy, how do I overcome that? Or they've had some unethical employer that's, I've had a few instances of this actually, and, they've been let go, or they've left an organisation because the principles and the values of that organisation didn't match their own. And they come to me going, well, how can I kind of bypass that, or how can I hide it, sweep it under the carpet, make excuses for it? But often the career gaps will say, well, why were you out? Well, I was travelling. 6 months on your own through South America. That's awesome. Let's put that in there. That adds another dimension to who you are and what you've looked to achieve. And again, sometimes people say, oh, it looks really patchy because I was doing all this contracting. Okay, well, let's say, look, let's just package that up and say that, you've got great tenure earlier in your career where you did a 3-year stint somewhere, but you've got, a year and a half or 2 years when you only did really short patches. So let's say that in that period is where you're really exploring and getting clear on what was going to be the right career for you, and you didn't want to do the wrong thing by committing to a permanent job when you were in that mindset. So you did your research, you now know what's the right role for you, and that's what you're talking to this particular person because you're committed to it. So there's a lot of different ways that you can just look at the positives. And I think in a lot of those instances, it adds depth to that person's application for sure.
Yeah, and I think that is becoming more and more common with people taking time off and shifting and changing. And I mean, our children or even grandchildren are probably not even going to know the 9 to 5 concept anymore.
I hope not.